So let's jump into today's conversation. In 2023, I was in a business meeting that I was really excited about. I had put the finishing touches on a proof of concept for an app that I was convinced could completely disrupt modern education and personal growth. I planned, designed, and developed the entire platform myself, pushing my meager coding skills to the brink of a beautiful mind, if you know what I mean. And the person that I was having the meeting with was really excited and impressed by the app, by how much work I had put into it. And they were overwhelmed with excitement. And then in the meeting, in the midst of the meeting, in the midst of their excitement, the person insisted that we needed to pray so that Jesus could bless the endeavor. Now, I remember thinking in myself, because this person knew that I was an atheist, but in my formerly typical people-pleasing nature, I acquiesced and led the prayer. Afterwards, I decided that I no longer wanted to consider doing business with anyone who could not respect my humanity. And see, it wasn't just that one moment, right? So it's not something that I hold against that one person. This occurred at a time that I just so happened to be allowing my mother to yet again try to make up for lost time by coming over for family dinners on Sundays. And when she'd come over, she'd make it a point to blast gospel music through my house and insist that I bless the food, fully knowing that I was an atheist. And see, it wasn't just that. My baby sister would sometimes get in her episodes where she felt the need to remind me of how good Jehovah had been to her. And it wasn't just that. Many of my pastor friends were constantly hounding me about coming back to the fold as if my non-belief would eventually fade. People were holding my life captive to their expectations, to their values, and to their ideals. And I was still so dislodged from the authenticity of my own autonomy that I was allowing it. I was prioritizing their comfort, their values, their needs over my own under the misguided belief that I was somehow doing the right thing. That somehow politeness was sacred and worth my own discomfort and subjugation. And that's why in that meeting in 2023, I acquiesced. I prayed and performed so that others could be pleased while depleting myself of my own determination to be. A month after that meeting is when I started sharing content on YouTube. It's when I decided to start exposing my authentic self to the world so that it could no longer be casually denied. But it wasn't just the pretense of belief that I was shedding. No, you got to hear me clearly here. It was also the pretense of people-pleasing and unnecessary politeness. I got to be honest with you. I've become somewhat of a monster in my resoluteness of what is me. In the words of LaMar, I'll cut my granny off if she don't see it how I see it. And I have. I'm not some non-playable character that you can submit to your expectations. The same rights that I extend to others and their lived experiences, I absolutely and unapologetically demand for myself. I will never again second myself for the preferences of others. I don't owe you that. See, when my channel, I don't mean to be preaching this early, but when my channel first started to hit, one of the long-standing organizations in the community offered me the role of volunteer host, but under the condition that I suspend my Sunday shows like this one right here. I declined what seemed like the opportunity of a lifetime for most because I determined that I don't owe you that. I know the thoughts and the plans that I have for myself, and I get to choose what days I do anything on. Even since venturing out of the prayer closet, people have consistently tried to satisfy their curiosity at my expense by attempting to engage me in debate and conversation that has zero utility for me. They want explanations and what have you, and each time I have to resolutely remind them, hey boo, I don't owe you that. I'm not your teacher. Go educate yourself. Be responsible for your own curiosity. I wouldn't come to your ass for my answers. No. And so then, excuse me. And so then, 6 days ago, I received an email from the organizers of a conference that I may be speaking at in Canada with the flyer for the event. pretty excited about it. It's my first time going to Canada, you know? So I shared the flyer on my Facebook page, with my personal Facebook page, with a simple save the date caption. Someone, a Black non-believer, pun intended, decided to comment on the post with the words, "Only one person of color? You need more." Now, mind you, I'm not the organizer of this event. I was just invited and accepted. Now, to be clear, though this person and I have shared platforms once or twice, she's never once engaged in my posts. We have zero relationship or familiarity. This person is also a veteran in the secular community and is familiar with the event and the organization that promotes it, meaning that she knows full well that I am not the organizer of the event. I share the event as I share any event that I'm committed to attend. And yet she accosted me as the person who needed to add more color, as if I was somehow responsible for being the only African-American invited. Now, I found this approach to be both petty and cowardly, because you didn't put it on their page, you put it on mine. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all know how I feel about childishness, but I have a whole video on it. If this was a genuine complaint, it should have been filed with the organization and likely not even on their public profile unless good faith conversations had deteriorated. Instead, it was brought to my page by a practical stranger who holds no relevance with me or apparently the organizers, even though they hadn't done this to Dr. Anthony Penn, with whom they have a relationship and was a guest last year. Her organization is very familiar with the organizers as they were invited and disinvited to the same event years prior. So it was clear to me that this was less about the event's lack of diversity and more about my presence at the event in the absence of their favorite Black person. See, just because you playing stupid don't mean I have to play with you. So my question to the person was, why not bring this up with the organizers? And they said they didn't want to. They wanted to bring it up on my page. And so my request was that they not use my page for their issues with that organization. To which they responded, why can't I do it here? Now imagine that. A grown-ass adult asking me why they can't express their grievances against another party on my page. How about this? Because it's my page. Y'all ready for this? And I don't owe you that. I don't even know you. You know? So then last night, that's why I'm talking about it. And then last night, 5 whole days later, the great white hope shows up, the voice of reason, and says, well, I'd like to know why she can't discuss it here either. Now, I politely responded, me requesting her not to have it on my page is reason enough. It's as simple as that. Me asking someone not to put something on my page after they've done it, me saying, hey, well, I would appreciate if you keep this type of stuff on your page. I don't owe anybody else an explanation. It's really as simple as that. So she was offended that I didn't offer her a satisfactory reasoning as to why her friends couldn't hijack my profile for their grievances against an organization that wasn't even tagged in the post. And so she persisted to attempt to, I guess, shame me into doing what she wanted me to do. And so now I'm looking like, oh, so you slow too, huh? So you don't understand that your needs stop at the boundaries between you and I. You don't get that my personal profile doesn't belong to you, nor your expectations. You don't get that as a complete fucking stranger, that you don't get to moderate my responses and compel me to engage in a conversation that I've already declined. In all capital letters, who the fuck are you? No. If we are to continue in any type of engagement, we need to be clear on what is owed and what is not. And what is for damn sure is that I do not owe you that. If you cross that line, I will gladly tell you to fuck off, and I don't give a damn about your sensibilities, because for you, as a complete stranger who crossed the line, do y'all hear me in the back? I don't owe you that. Your values, beliefs, ideas, and opinions are for you, not for me, beloved. You cannot force me on your bandwagon. I do not owe you an explanation for my ideas, my desires, my existence, or my intentions. Social media will have you forgetting that you are a stranger and that we have no relationship that obliges one to the other. I don't owe you that. That's why some of you are barely making it now, because you keep paying what you don't owe. That's why you're miserable, emotionally bankrupt, angry, and depressed all the damn time, because you keep letting people drag you into debt over behavior that is not owed. I am preaching better than y'all are responding. And I love you, but I will not join you there. Why? Because I don't owe you that. Right? Are we clear? Are we clear now? So now that you've heard that straight from the horse's mouth, let's transform this into a conversation worth having. Okay? If you haven't guessed by now, the title of this weekend's conversation is, I don't owe you that. I don't owe you that. And I had to address that real quickly, because apparently there are people in the secular community who consider themselves wanting to cancel me because I told a white lady to fuck off. And so if you don't know me by now, you will never know me. I don't owe you that. All right? All right. So let's get into this. This is going to be good. Was that good for y'all? Did that help anybody? Did that set anybody free? Because no, I really mean this. I really mean this. And y'all have heard me stand on this. I've been standing on this 10 toes ever since I got in. You don't owe anybody else's your existence. You don't owe anybody else's. I know the mic is messed up. I don't know what's going on, but I can't stop what I'm doing to work on it. So just flow with it, man, or just, I don't know what to tell you. But listen. I want you to know, like, you got to be very careful with people. Like, no, I don't owe you anything. You're not going to pull me into a conversation that I don't want to be in. I don't owe you. This ain't the Jim Crow South. I don't have to answer your questions. I don't have to look, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, who is you? All right, so the question, what do we owe each other, can't live honestly without its counterpart. What don't we owe each other? Because freedom isn't just the right to speak. It's the right not to perform. So I want to talk through a few things that we don't owe each other. I want us to talk through this and work this thing now. That's right. If you don't know me by now, people funny, man. They're like, oh, y'all don't know I cuss? Y'all didn't know I cuss? Oh, you thought you were gonna force me in a conversation and not get your ass cussed out? Nah. Now you know. Okay, so let's talk about some things that we don't owe each other. And this is something that I've been a stickler on ever since we've started. This movement, I've been a stickler on it in Discord, is that nobody owes you their autonomy. All right? Like, I don't owe my autonomy to anybody. Autonomy is the right to self-possession. You don't possess me. It was Jean-Paul Sartre who said, man is condemned to be free. Humanity is condemned to be free. What is meant is that freedom is not optional. Even refusing to choose is a choice. To live authentically, we must take ownership of our own existence, even when others disapprove. And so many people wanted to tell me that they disapprove of the way that I handled old girl. And I wanted to remind them, if you could, check your inbox and see where I asked for your fucking permission of how to deal with people who cross my lines. No, I don't need anybody's permission to exist as me. What kind of lesson would I be teaching my kids if I told them, no, just let people violate you as much as they want to? No, baby, cross that line if you want to and see what you get kicked back over there. All right. So no, I don't need anyone's permission to exist as me. And, I got to remind everybody, if you don't know me, act accordingly. If you're not a part of my life, act accordingly, because I'm going to treat you like the stranger you are. So when someone insists that your humanity must pass through their rituals, their faith, or their comfort, the refusal not to isn't rebellion. It's philosophy in action. When I say I'm not going, come on now, ain't this good, y'all? When I say I'm not going to submit my life to your bullshit, that's not rebellion. Who the fuck are you for me to be rebelling against? That's philosophy. That's my autonomy. That's me choosing being over appeasement. The big point is you don't owe other people compliance. You don't owe them compliance because their comfort is not your calling. So what we don't owe each other, number one, is autonomy. No, we don't got to do that. I don't owe anybody else that. Number two, are y'all ready? I hate this mic is messing up. Number two, the right to one's own experiences, all right? Boundaries. I love it. Yeah, fuck around and find out. Come on, in regards to boundaries. I don't owe anybody else my boundaries. Literally. I've made it very clear that my personal page is not for debate. My personal page is not for conversations and appeasing other people's curiosity. Y'all want to talk to each other, you do that. I got 4 kids that I have to raise. I lead a movement right now. I don't know if you've noticed, okay? So I'm kind of busy. So I don't want to talk to everybody about their curiosities. Honestly, y'all, to be honest, I'm not that fucking bored. I got too much to do, all right? So I have boundaries, and I make those boundaries clear. No one can make you inferior without your consent. And that's, oh man, this is good. That's from Eleanor Roosevelt, if you didn't know. No one can make you inferior without your consent. And people will get mad at you when you do not consent to the inferiority that they want you to have. Nope. Each one of us, it was Epictetus who said that each one of us is responsible for his own soul. Your story, your silence, your presence, all of it belongs to you. When others demand your story as proof, they're trying to make your life serve their learning curve. But your trauma is not their textbook, and your truth is not communal property. You don't owe anybody else your lived experiences. This is something that many people go through after deconstructing, is all of a sudden everybody wants, but why? Why did you leave? Why don't you love Jesus no more? Why don't you want to come to church no more? No, you don't owe anybody that. Oh, come on, I hope this is helping somebody. Third one, y'all ready? What we don't owe each other? I don't owe you my authenticity. If you say, Darante, I'm uncomfortable because you cussed at somebody, then you need to find somebody else to be around. Because I am not going to shift who I am to make you comfortable. How overinflated can your ego be when you're expecting a whole human being that you have no relationship with to adjust their life, their identity, who they are for you? No, nobody owes you their authenticity. Authenticity is the refusal to perform. You know, Nietzsche said, he who would be authentic must be willing to be hated. I'm going to say it one more time, and look, it ain't me. Nietzsche said this. He, and I'm paraphrasing, he who would be authentic, they who would be authentic must be willing to be hated. And I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody else is so used to conforming. Everybody else is so used to jumping on somebody else's bandwagon that they despise your freedom. So if you're going to be authentic, if you're going to be yourself, if you're going to refuse to perform, go ahead and be prepared to be hated. You're going to have to be willing to be hated because people are going to be mad at you that you ain't doing what they feel like they have to do. Oh yeah, this is good. Well, if I was you, I wouldn't have done this. But see, that's the thing. You're not me. That's the thing. See, I'm authentic. I'm not going to change who I am for you. Authenticity requires betrayal of illusions, not people. No, I have to see. Good. This is why y'all hear me. Like, you got to get away from these labels and stuff when you're dealing with people, because authenticity requires betrayal of the illusion. Yep. It calls. You see, there's a thing you think. There's a thing you think. But it'd be funny when you have these thoughts about who I am and you don't even know me. So watch this. When I stopped praying to please the ring, I wasn't rejecting love. I was rejecting performance, right? Oh, this is so good. No. So, oh man. So to pretend is to participate in your own erasure. You don't owe others your expressed existence on their terms. Man, this is good. You don't owe others your expressed existence on their terms. My expressed existence is the product of my lived experience. You don't get to soften that for your sensibilities, because your sensibilities don't soften my life. Oh my goodness. You don't get to soften my expressed existence because it offends your sensibilities. What I let people know about me, if I offend you, stay the fuck away from me. In the words of Fantasia Barrino, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. No, you don't owe others your expressed existence on their terms. I hope this is good. I hope this is good. I'm still fighting through this cold, y'all. I hate I'm coughing in the mic. All right, so fourth one. What's up, Bill? Fourth one. What we don't owe to each other is our integrity. Integrity is the courage to withstand approval. It was Theodore Adorno who said, the highest form of morality is not to feel at home in one's own home. I want you to think about that, because I had to wrestle with that quote. The highest form of morality is not to feel at home in one's own home, which means even when I'm around things that are comfortable for me, even when I'm around things that are familiar for me, the highest form of morality is to be comfortable and still call out what's wrong. Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. So I don't owe unconditional loyalty to a family, to a faith, or a crowd that demands my silence to stay comfortable. Loyalty without integrity is bondage. You don't owe people your unquestionable agreement. Oh, I gotta say that again, because that is a problem in this community. You don't owe people your unquestionable agreement, because disagreement is the pulse of integrity. If we are always unconditionally agreeing because it is what sounds right, then integrity has already left the room. And a good way to track that is you'll start seeing a lot of talking, but you won't see a lot of things getting done. Man, this is so good. Oh, I got some more. I got some more. Number 5, attention. You know, you don't owe everybody your attention. You don't owe everybody your attention. In one of my novels, one of the favorite lines I wrote was a character by the name of Mama Memphis, and she telling her boys, everything is not for everybody. You don't owe everybody your attention. Attention is the currency of the modern world. It was Simone Weil who said, the greatest challenge of our time is to keep our attention. The greatest challenge of our time is to keep our attention. If y'all go back and watch the Masterminding Your Life Sunday session that I did a few months back, that's what I talk people through, is how to mastermind your attention. We live in an economy of outrage and access, okay? Where everyone feels entitled to everyone else's time. But attention is finite, and for me, that shit is sacred. So when strangers expect to use my page to fight their battles or vent their grievances, they mistake visibility for obligation. I do not owe them my unlimited attention. Oh my goodness. Well, because this is important to me, you gotta do this because I don't even know you. Let's be clear. All right. So no, you don't owe everybody your unlimited attention. Your time is finite. You get to choose where you draw the barriers around your life, around your time, around your conversations, around what you will engage and what you will not engage. Nobody else gets the right to come into your life and redraw those lines. Let's continue. Number 6, we don't owe each other our freedom. I like to define freedom as ethical refusal. The first act of freedom is saying no. Okay? You want to see how mature a person is? Say no. You want to find out how a person really feels about you. See how they handle your no. You got to get real comfortable with no with people. I tell people your no's should protect you. You know what I'm saying? Your yeses should push you forward, and your no's should protect you. So the first act of freedom is being able to say no. You know, it was Albert Camus who believed rebellion begins when a person says, hey, this far and no further. This is the line. This is the boundary. You cannot cross that. All right. Not every refusal is arrogance. You know, some are ethics. Goodness. When you say, I don't owe you that, you're defending the space that makes consent possible. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't owe you that. When you say no, you are defending the space that makes consent possible. That is the boundary between my personhood and possessionhood. Am I a person? Are you treating me like a person who has full autonomy? Or are you treating me like your possession who has to bend to your agenda? I am not the latter. You know, in the words of James Baldwin, I am not your Negro. Find another one. All right, well, we don't know each other. Whew. Goodness gracious. Wisdom without being laced with bullshit. I love that. Yes. Number 7, we do not owe each other. We don't owe each other our humanism. This is the equal exchange. Freedom doesn't mean disconnection. It means mutual choice. Okay? The philosopher Martin Buber taught that the I-thou relationship only exists where both parties are free to say yes or no. So when you assert your no, you are preserving the conditions that make a true yes possible. If you cannot handle my no, you do not deserve the privilege of my yes. I'm going to say that one more time. I feel like somebody needed that in the back. Who was you that needed that? No, if you cannot handle my no, you do not deserve the honor of my yes. That felt right because there was 2 H's. I'm going to say it one more time. If you cannot handle my no, you do not deserve the honor of my yes. Okay? When you assert your no, you are preserving the conditions that make a true yes possible. All right? Dang, this is so good, y'all. I love these conversations. So social media blurs the boundary. It tricks strangers into thinking they have equity in your existence. It tricks strangers into thinking that they have equity in your existence. That somehow your existence is impacting them. You know? But the follow button is not a friendship. And visibility is not vulnerability. You can be public and still be private. You can be visible and still be free. Because at the end of the day, I am not your mirror, your muse, or your moral project. I'm a person. You don't owe anyone your story, your silence, your allegiance, your agreement, or your attention. And if the world finds that monstrous, then let it be. Monsters are simply those who stop pretending to be tame, if you get what I'm saying. So now that we have that straight, let's shift into the more important question. Now that we done got it down, do you feel liberated? Do you feel free? Do you feel like you can breathe a little better, that you don't have to subjugate yourself to pretense or performance for somebody else's pettiness? No, you don't owe anybody that. And you don't owe anybody. So now let's talk about what we do owe each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about what we do owe each other. What I love about this, and we're going to kind of go through the time, it was Thomas Hobbes who said that what we owe each other is the debt of peace. In Leviathan, Hobbes argued that without mutual obligation, life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. He said we owe each other peace through restraint, a social contract that trades some freedom for stability. The laws of nature oblige us to seek peace and follow it, he said. To Hobbes, our debt to one another is self-preservation through cooperation. You see that? To Hobbes, our debt to one another is self-preservation through cooperation, which means even when you don't like my no, it's your responsibility to learn how to respect it. Okay? John Locke said that we owe each other the debt of respect. Locke shifted the frame from fear to rights, life, liberty, and property. Being all equal and independent, he said, no one ought to harm another in his life, his health, liberty, or possessions. What we owe then is not interference. What we owe then is non-interference and mutual recognition of each person's natural rights. Damn, isn't this good? Okay, Immanuel Kant, let's go a little further. He said that what we owe to each other is the debt of dignity. Kant insisted that every person is an end in themselves, never merely a means. Act in such a way that you treat humanity always at the same time as an end, never merely as a means. Is what he penned in his groundwork of the metaphysics of morals. Our duty is to respect the rational autonomy of others. I gotta say it again. Our duty is to respect the rational autonomy of others, not because of consequence, but because of moral law. You know, it was Jean-Jacques Rousseau who said that what we owe to each other is the debt of belonging. This is why I do the work that I do with Brick City. In the social contract, Rousseau claimed that humans become fully moral only in community. It says humanity is born free and everywhere in chains. We owe each other the constructive of a just collective will, participation in shaping the world, participation in shaping the moral world that we share, that we inhabit, that we work on together. It was John Stuart Mill who said what we owe to each other is the debt of liberty. For Mill, freedom is sacred until it infringes on another. Dang, Emmanuel. I love it. I love it. For Mill, freedom is sacred until it infringes on another's. Okay? Your freedom is sacred until your freedom infringes on mine. We'll use somebody in the chat as an example. Someone came in the chat and says, I have a question that I want to be answered. And they thought just because they had a question that I would stop what I was doing and prioritize them, a random, complete fucking stranger who I don't know from anybody. This is the problem with social media culture. Some of y'all have taken this way too far. Nobody owes you an answer to your question. Some of you are going to have to learn how to be ignored again. Because I'm going to be good at it. All right, so the only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any other member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others. You know, we owe one another protection from harm, the boundary that keeps liberty from turning predatory. Damn. Like, these are the things, we're so smart in this community, but we suck at being people. We suck at being humans. We spend our whole lives trying to cannibalize other folk. It's like there's certain people in this community who wake up and say, who can I eat today? There's certain people in this community who wake up and say, I got to find somebody to tear down. I want no part in that, because what we owe one another is protection from harm. I'm not here to destroy. That's your bag. It ain't mine. I'm here to build, okay? I'm here to build. But then again, that might just be because I'm a humanist. I don't know. Simone de Beauvoir, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right at all, and y'all know I don't give a damn, but he said we owe the debt of recognition. What is it, Beauvoir? I think that's right. De Beauvoir argued that our freedom is bound up in others' freedom. I used to say, ain't none of us free until all of us are free. That used to be my saying. You know, to will oneself free is also to will others free. We owe each other the work of mutual liberation, not submission. We owe each other the work of mutual liberation. I'm working to set people free my way, and other people are working to set people free their way. I'm not attacking their ways, but I'm not going to change my ways, all right? And the reason I'm not going to, who already know what I'm about to say, is because I don't owe you that, all right? What I do owe you is the work of mutual liberation, which means because we share this planet together, I do owe you the work of trying to do something to make it a better place. And I tell you what, I don't know what other people think about me, but I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job of actually bringing joy and peace and wisdom and clarity back to people's lives. And I'm not going to change that. So while I appreciate everybody out there who's chasing Scooby-Doo and trying to find the next villain, good for you. Get all the villains off the streets, buddy. Good for you. but I'm not going to submit to what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Okay? Oh, this is good. This is good. All right. It was Martin Buber who said we owe each other the debt of encounter. You know? The debt of encounter. And this one I thought about. In I Am Thou, Buber saw ethics as relational, not transactional. All we're living is meeting. What we owe each other is presence, to meet others as whole beings, not tools or roles, to meet each other as whole beings. If you have not watched my conversation series on how to human, please go back and watch it. I might just redo it, man. But you have got to stop treating people as your boogeyman. You've got to stop treating people as your weapons. You've got to stop treating people as your mechanism. You've got to stop treating people as labels. People are people. They are entire human beings. They are whole beings, not your tools or your roles. I will always take offense when someone attempts to tokenize my blackness for their cowardice agendas. I am not here for it. Okay? Emmanuel Levinas said that what we owe each other is the infinite debt. Levinas described the face of the other as a moral command. The face is the other who asks and demands, "Thou shalt not kill." We owe an infinite responsibility to the other prior to choice. Ethics before ontology. It was Hannah Arendt who said we owe the debt of plurality. Arendt held that our shared world depends on acting and speaking together. Beautiful quote, we are of the world, not merely in it. Man, we are of the world, not merely in it. As a former preacher, I guess I'm still a preacher, as a former pastor, as a former theological pastor, as a former Christian, we are in the world, not of the world, But no. We are we're not just in the world. We are a part of the world. We are of the world. The world is a part of the human condition. And so therefore we owe each other the maintenance of the public world. We owe each other space for truth, space for debate, and space for difference. I have urged this community since my name became a thing to resist the subtle march towards sameness that turns every conversation into a challenge of existence. One of my favorite modern philosophers, Cornel West, says that we owe each other the debt of love and justice. Cornel says justice is what love looks like in public. For West, our moral debt is not just respect, but care, an active, collective love expressed through justice, through what is just, through what is appropriate, through what is considerate, through what is caring, through what is compassion. And trying to force somebody else to get on your bandwagon is not compassion. And I've said this from every stretch of the way. I've even warned secular people to stop trying to change believers' mind. Instead, create space where when they're ready, they can do it. Because the most damaging thing you could ever do psychologically is to try to change somebody else's mind to your stuff. We don't owe each other that. And by doing so, we are skipping over the very intention to be human. To be human means to hear. It means to listen. It means to observe. And it means to respond based off of those things. To be human means to respect someone's no. To be human means to respect other people's boundaries, even if you really, 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 really want to talk about it. No. And so the work that I do is I want to encourage people to get their humanity back. And I will not have mine robbed in the process. I will not be your sacrificial scapegoat. I choose strategy over sacrifice every time. I am who I am, and I will not apologize for that. If you cross my boundaries, I will tell you to fuck off. And if you in the secular community can't handle being told to fuck off, you're hypocrites. You're hypocrites. Period. Period. All right. So across these traditions, 3 threads weave throughout the question. What do we owe to each other? Restraint. We owe not to harm. The moment someone tells you, the moment someone clues you're in, that you're crossing a boundary, that's a boundary for them. The moment you persist to go over that boundary, you are the aggressor. You understand that? Nobody should have to tell you no 15 times. No one should have to explain their no to you. That shit comes off rapey. No, I don't have to have this conversation because you want to. You do not get to rob my humanity. So we owe each other restraint. Yes, this is a really important topic to me, but they seem not to be interested in it for whatever reason. And so because of that, I'm going to respect their boundary and actually find somebody that wants to have the conversation. Is that not something that adults not know how to do? I just thought that was adulting. For me, that shit is just adulting. Okay? Number 2, respect. These are just the 3 things that we get out of all of these. Restraint and then respect. We owe recognition of dignity and freedom. Damn, you know what, Darante? It is your right not to want to have this conversation. Damn, Darante, you know what? It is your right not to want this posted under your comments. You should not have to explain to us why we're behaving like 17-year-old or 16-year-old teenagers in high school. I'm not your parent. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to your parents about why you don't know how to act like a grown-up. Don't bring that shit to me. Okay? I'm not your nanny. I'm not your butler. I'm not your boogaloo or whatever the fuck else. Okay? And so the 3rd one is relationship. We owe the maintenance of the shared world. Building relationships with people is work. You don't get to choose how people are going to respond to you. You don't get to choose what other people's boundaries are. You don't get to choose what other people's pacing is. You don't get to choose any of that. If you want to be in a relationship with anybody, you have to do the work to know how to respect them. And this is what's wrong with many relationships today, is that people don't want to do the work to respect, because respect is not easy. It requires paying attention. It requires understanding. And most importantly, it requires staying on your fucking side of the line. So the humanist conclusion is we owe each other the conditions to be fully human. Safety, honesty, and space to become. Beyond that, everything else is a gift, not a debt. We don't owe you that. And as long as I have breath, I will do my best to model such an existence where who you are and what you want stops at the boundaries of who I am, because I don't owe you that. I hope y'all have enjoyed today's conversation. Don't forget to join us here next week, same time. Over the next 2 weeks, I told y'all I'll have 2 special guests with me. So keep a lookout on the calendar. I'll be making sure that is up. Man, I'm so glad. Did y'all enjoy today's conversation? I know it was a little different. And this one, look, I was sitting in my office yesterday thinking about, because I know I've been letting my face heal up. I fell in a fire pit. Secret's out. I fell in a fire pit, okay? Lost my balance, had too many drinks, and I fell in a fire pit, and I got baptized by fire, and that's how Big City SoCal started. But so I was sitting down yesterday, and I was thinking about playing a video, and I think I told my team this at one point, that I was going to play the "You Are Here," that you got here first, because it was such a great message. But then I saw this drama popping up, and anybody who knows me, if you've known me a little bit, I don't do like for whatever reason, the secular community loves to do this little like high school gossip clubs where they all get on like little gossip lines. They tried to get me in it a few months ago, and I made it very clear, like, oh, I don't play those games. I'm a grown-ass man with kids. Why would I be out here gossiping about people I don't even fucking know? It has no utility on my life. So I know you like having fun, farting in the bathtub and laughing at the bubbles and shit, but I'm a grown ass man. And so I'm not going to join you in doing that shit. Okay. You know, like, damn, I don't like bubbles no, I do like bubbles. I don't like fart bubbles. Okay. Shit. All right. Sorry. Okay. I don't even know why I got there, but no. So I was sitting down and I saw this drama and I said, damn, you know what? I feel like a preacher now. Oh, I'm gonna have to preach about it. I'm gonna have to demonstrate. And it hit me. I don't know you that. And I was like, oh, that's such a powerful message. That's such a powerful reminder that no, we get to choose our existence. We get to choose how we live. We get to choose how we present ourselves. And I don't owe that to anybody else unapologetically. I don't remember signing up to be your favorite Black person. I don't remember signing up to be your favorite anything. As I remind people all the way, I don't exist for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to me. Okay? All right. And also, y'all, it's official. I'm so glad everybody enjoyed this conversation today, man. It's official, man. Bridge City Global finally has a digital home. Ashley, I did something. I don't know if I was supposed to do it, but I did it. I told them you would probably get mad at me, but I gave everybody the link. I just told them it's bridgecity.app. I just did it again. But I did tell them we don't have a full onboarding process or what all that good stuff is. So I didn't know if you wanted me to do it yet, but I did it. And so if we see extra people there, it's my fault. So it's official, y'all. Bridge City Global finally has a digital home. So if you're a patron, BC 101 graduate, or you've tapped in, you need to be checking your email to find your invite to the global campus. I'm loving seeing how our team is coming together and the great work that we're doing and helping people find those better ways to connect. Because for us, that's what this is about. It's not to be the smartest people on the block. It's not to be the people who's correcting everybody else. I honestly, that's stuff that I don't like. I don't like when people spend their time policing other people's lives, especially if you have no equity in that person's existence. That's their life. Let them figure that shit out. This is why some of you would benefit by spending some time with a therapist, because then you would realize what good advice looks like. Oh, that was too good. Damn, I'm still preaching. Some of you need to spend time with a therapist because then you can actually finally realize what good advice looks like. And good advice is not someone telling you what you should be doing. Good advice comes when someone sits with you, listens with you, come on now, and helps you ask your own self questions. Oh, this is good. This is good. I didn't mean to go there, but it's good. But so that's what we exist to do. We exist to kind of help people be a better way to connect. So if you're looking to connect, if Bridge City is what you like, now if you just like to bash Christians, this might not be it for you. But if Bridge City is what you like, if you want to connect with other people, if you want to move your life forward, if you want to work on your personal growth, if you want to find other people with like hearts who love people, even if those people are different, who are willing to protect other people's humanity, Bridge City is the place you want to be. But I'm going to be honest with you. We're looking for workers now because we're on the edge. I want to play that song. We're on the edge of something incredible. All right. And so, of course, last but not least, if you'd like to support the work we're doing, there are links in the description to help you do so. You can support us through Patreon. You can support us through Bridge City Global. Bridge City Global has its own PayPal. So for those of you that are members, as a matter of fact, this is what I forgot to do because I've been so flustered this weekend. We're starting Giving Tuesdays for Bridge City Global. Let's do a round of applause. I can see you. You was not clapping. Don't be playing. Clap. I'm just playing. But no, we're starting Giving Tuesdays every second Tuesday of the month. In lieu, because we don't make our members pay dues. We don't make our members do any of those things. But what we're going to start doing is on every second Tuesday of the month, we're just going to remind people, hey, here's a great opportunity to give towards Bridge City Global. Here's a great opportunity to support what we're doing. And this is going to support events that we can do. This is going to support projects that we can do. So instead of asking people, hey, you got to give us this every week or you got to give us this every month, just once a month, we're going to do a reminder for the whole community that, hey, it's Giving Tuesday. Let's do something to make this vision more sustainable. So you have all of that. And for those of you that are already on our global campus, get to that digital platform, you will actually see it on the calendar. And for those of you that are in there, check out the calendar because there's a lot of stuff on there. And I can't even keep up with all these chats. Y'all are, Mistress Monica, we got to get you in there. I don't know why you're not in there yet. Like you need to be at bridgecity.app right now. You need to be typing it in and you need to be doing the start here because you've been such an incredible blessing to this work that we do. Like, you damn near here every weekend. Like, you one of our regulars at this moment. So I'd love to see y'all in there. And that's open for everybody. I truly do love y'all. Yay, look at that. Man, that is so beautiful. Y'all are amazing. Let me close this thing out. Another exciting thing, we are working on a production team now, so soon and very soon, I won't have to be the one closing these things out. That's why it's always awkward at the end, because I'm looking at like, oh, what am I supposed to, I'm probably supposed to press something. Oh, there is the QR code on the screen if you'd like to give. I forgot that we do that. So that is available now too. See, this is what happens when you're looking at stuff and you're supposed to be talking to people. And I'm just trying to get to my closing moment. And so I can click the right thing. But no, sincerely love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. If you want to connect, there's all of the ways to connect are in the description below. For those of you who are part of Discord, I do want to let you know we're going to be transitioning our Discord. We're going to transition away from Discord fully by the end of the year. So go ahead and meet all your friends that you want to meet if you're not coming to the new platform, and y'all exchange numbers and find another server to connect on, because we closing Discord at the end of the year. I love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And let me give y'all some music to close out. Since we open up with Mad, we're going to close out with Mad. Is that Mark? Is that Mark? Mark, where have you been? That's Mark Coley, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Coley just showed up at the last minute. If you do not know who this brother is, go check out his work. He's a powerhouse, phenomenal, doing great things. I've been trying to get him on the team for a while, but we just don't have the bandwidth. But so glad to see you. I'm gonna give y'all Mad. Obviously, I felt a little mad, so I had to give y'all that one. So I'm gonna give it to y'all again. I did not write Mad for this. I wrote Mad a long time ago, but it's fun. Love y'all. Until next time, keep rising. Good. Good.